Hello, my friends. I'm starting a couple of minutes early because everything all fell into place and I was able to get going. And I noticed that a lot of you don't always get notifications. So I thought maybe if I started a few minutes early, it would give you time to find us. Welcome. I know the name of this Facebook group is Let's Learn Cricut, but we're not using a Cricut tonight. We are making cards without a Cricut. And I just felt the need to do some paper stamps and ink and not bring in technology. I had a really great kind of off-grid weekend. Not really though. It wasn't off-grid at all. But there was no computer involved. There was streaming of TV, but there was no computer involved. So it was kind of nice for a change. And it kind of got me thinking about, let's just make some cards and not play with a computer for tonight. So anyway, in case you didn't know and you don't eat, sleep, and breathe Stampin' Up! The way I do, which I know you might have other things to do, the new catalog goes live on Wednesday, which means I get to share new things with you. And I love this time of year. It's like Christmas all over again. It's just super exciting to have the new catalog. Let me just show you the new catalog in my hands. Paper just feels so good. Those of you that ordered it from me or are my customers, you should have already had them. They were shipped out to you from me, so you should have them. The catalog will be live on my site on Wednesday, so you'll be able to see it there. What's different this year, though, is Stampin' Up! Put the catalog together in a kind of a cool way. It's a little bit more of an idea book of tips and suggestions than just a catalog of product. It's really cool. There's a couple things I want to show you. We'll walk through the whole thing later, but I wanted to show you, there's an index in the back that lists all the different, the dies, the embellishments. It's broken down by product, and I love that. So that's really cool in the back. It's been there before, but this just is really easy to use. There's a great join section. Now, and it seems kind of daunting and scary, but I don't want you to miss this. If you have been thinking, well, I'm going to buy this stuff anyway, I'd rather buy it at a discount, May is the time to do it. So ask me questions why that's cool. I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about it right now, but it really is the best deal in the catalog. It's $99 free shipping. It's real, and you get to pick out what you want for product. And then there's a really good deal in May. So there's that. What we're working with tonight, I'm going to show you this one, is Country Woods. And if you know me and you look at these colors, you're going to think, yep, I bet she liked I bought them all. I bought all these colors. All of these, this entire suite, I bought the suite because I love it all. Tonight we're going to be making a card using the Country Birdhouse Stamp and Die. And this paper, which is the no, it is not. Which one are you? You are the Country Woods. This is Country Lace. Both of them I love. The Designer Series paper. Ribbons, my colors too. It's really cool. So that's what we're going to be working on. Let me move this out of the way. We are almost at the top of the hour. So the first thing you want to do is decide what set you're going to use. And I told you I'm using Country Birdhouse. And this is the stamp set. And the dies I've got all over my table. They're kind of a mess. They look like this when you get them. It says Country Birdhouse dies. It doesn't really show you what they are. You kind of have to look online or in the catalog to see what the dies actually are. And I should have shown you that while I had it over here. When you're looking at this, this tells you what the dies are. Okay, so that's kind of cool. When you look at and you can tell they shade the stamped images that have a coordinating die, so you can tell. Kind of easy to pick out. All right, as usual, I took my 12 by 12 cardstock my 12 by 12 pattern paper, and I cut it. I'm going to bring some over here to show you. This is upside down. This is Country Woods. Remember, Stampin' Up! In the back, it's in other languages too, but in English, it tells you what the colors are that coordinate with it. That's probably the primary reason I am a matchy-matchy girl, why Stampin' Up! Is my favorite company to work with, because colors match. I can tell what I need. So I can look at this and say, oh, well, I need Misty Moonlight cardstock. I need Pool Party. I need Petal Pink. I can pick out my cardstock and I know it's going to match. Just so that you get a sense. If you are a scrapbooker, which we're not doing that tonight, but these are really great background papers. This is Country Woods, but look at these papers. I just want to show you what they are before I start cutting them up, right? They're just really good. They could be masculine, but you could use them for some, it depends on what you do with it. This one, I love that one too. This is cool and really bright. Okay, so those are our colors. To do cards, remember, I set up myself a little pack. I take my 12 by 12 and I cut them into 4-inch strips. And what I did in this case, because I thought I might want to use some of the others for some layouts, I only took one of each. They come in 2 of each one. I just took one. I'm not going to be able to cut through all of those. Let's do half. And I'm going to cut these into 4-inch strips first with my trimmer. I get 3 strips from the paper. Then I'm going to go this way and I'm going to go at 5 1/4. And that's going to be ready to go on the front of my card. Whoops, I messed up. It can't do it on one thing. You have to do 2. Kara, you know that. 5 1/4. So it really didn't make it faster for me to do it that way. Let me get these out of the way. Then this is the other half. And I'm going to do this at 5 1/4 as well. And then I'm going to end up with this great piece here. This is good for titles, good for small dies. It doesn't go to waste. So I put that over there. And I do the same with the other half. And I do this for the whole pack. And then let me show you what I have when I get done here. 4 inches. 5 1/4. This is the kind of thing you can do watching TV because it's fussy, but not really. 5 1/4. And then I have my card kit all ready to go so that when I'm ready to make a card, I don't have to do all this trimming. This is already done for me. The other piece I do is I make my card bases. And I'll show you how to do that in a second. I'm going to start with my 8 1/2 by 11. One of the new colors out, hey Susan, is Basic Beige, which is really kind of cool. I haven't used it yet, but I wanted to show it to you. So we have our Basic White, we have Basic White Thick. Now we have Basic Beige. Let me show you what that looks like. Did I lose it? That's right here compared to the white, right? There's also an ink in this color. I can't wait to start playing with this, which I will. Sorry, I'm hitting the camera while I put that back in the stamps. All right. This is going to be my card base. 8 1/2 by 11, it started out as. You know I'm going to lose something here. You can just bet money. Starts at 8.5 by 11. Hi, Diane. I'm going to cut it in half at 5.5. And then I'm going to score it. Oh, they're going to get stuck. I'm going to score it at 4.25. Okay. And now I have my card front ready to go. Let me take my website off there. I feel like that gets distracting. You know where I am. Okay, so now I have my card front. I am going to take my 4 by 5.25, and that's going to be my card base. Look how that fits. I didn't have to do anything, right? I kind of went through a bunch to figure out which one I wanted, and I chose this one. This is, I'm going to use for my card base. It's got a little bit, I like the dark and the light. So I'm actually going to put this down on my card right now so I don't lose it. If you've watched me do this for a while, you know I tend to lose something. Oh, what a great idea. Susan uses empty lunch meat containers to keep up with the small pieces. You know me. I tend to get them stuck on the bottom of the trimmer. So that's a great idea. We'll have to try that. I am not necessarily a mass producer. I like to make a card at a time. Susan, how many cards? I bet you mass produce a little. Do you make more than one card? When you find a design that you like, how many do you make of that same design? So there's our base. I kind of liked this choice too. I like that blue, but it kind of distracts from the things I wanted to add to it. So I didn't want to do that. I could have stamped the birdhouse, cat food bowls. Susan has a really hungry cat who's usually here watching. I could have stamped 3 or 4. Okay, so Susan makes 3 or 4 cards at a time. I really am bad about it. I make one and then I move on to something else. But if you want to be good at it and prolific and have lots of cards to send to anybody, sometimes it's easier while you're cutting to do enough for 3 or 4. Not a bad idea. This is the birdhouse stamp. See how cool it is? Today I decided I wanted to use the dies, which one of the reasons that I'm doing a card tonight is I feel like when I've been doing scrapbooks in the past, my photos are the star of the show, which means I tend to keep my background and all the things. Now that's just me. All the other parts of my layout kind of basic because I want the photos to be the star of the show, which is great, but I don't get to play with all the paper and the ink and all the fun stuff. So I felt like I wanted to play with the dies tonight. And I want to be really clear with you. I love, if you're going to use a crank machine, I love the Stampin' Up machines. I absolutely do. However, as I get older, which I'm not going to sign up for most of the time, sometimes I find that the cranking just really bothers my hands, and I don't want me to not use the dies. So the other choice I have, which is not Stampin' Up, but I still like it, is my Anna Griffin electric one. This is the mini one. It won't take the full embossing folder, so for that I use the crank one. But it will do dies, and it does work great. So if you ever hear me using it and think, well, wait, how did she? It's not a Stampin' Up one. My Stampin' Up one works great for all the little dies. These were all cut with my Stampin' Up one. It's just super little. It doesn't always come in blue, but you knew me. If it were blue, I would have to have it. All right, enough about die cut machines. Back to this. I have my base. Then I cut out my birdhouse. I'm going to put my birdhouse together before I put it on the card. So I'm just going to stand you right here. So I used the birdhouse die, and I used this paper. It won't take what? It's not big enough. Let me show you. The Anna one, as well as this one, won't take the full size embossing folder. Maybe I could squeeze it through. It's not quite wide enough. The Stampin' Up one, though, does take these. And if you look in the catalog, it will tell you if it will fit in the mini one or not. These are great. So it just depends on you, okay? So the small Stampin' Up has, you know, smaller plates. Let me bring them on over. So it can only be 3 inches wide or it won't fit in that machine. But for most of the dies, I mean, it took the house one, no problem, right? So everything was able to be cut with that. These are the mini embossing folders. Super cute. And they fit in the little machine. And they'll do exactly what I want. So just think about it. If you are someone who has a lot of the bigger embossing folders. Oh, and Stampin' Up! Has some really big ones this time. I want to say 5x7. I took the catalog. It went to camp with me. It sat on the couch and I brought it home. I didn't really spend as much time looking at it as I thought I would. I spent more time just doing nothing, which was wonderful. Those of you that haven't been following me, we have become seasonal, well, we will become seasonal campers this year at Lake Champlain. Been talking about it for years. We did it when our kids were little, but we haven't for a long time. We've just talked about it. Well, we decided to do it. So this was opening weekend for us, not everybody, but we opened the camper this weekend. And Bert and I and Mort, we had to talk Morty into this and took Morty. Ooh, well, Diane, yeah, you could use the electric one and you'll be okay. So here we go. We've got our house, and this is kind of like putting paper dolls together. And then you cut out all the different parts and layer it on up. So let's do that. I'm gonna go with this one first. And I just used, this is one die, this is another. You'll also notice I could have simply stamped it and then I could have colored it in and not done all the die cutting, but I wanted to, so we die cut. And while I was there, I set up my crafting area. It's going to be just card making when I go to camp because the internet's just not conducive to Cricut. But I can craft there, and some of the other campers want to try it. We're all seasonal there. It's not, no one is just a one night or two. So we're super excited. My son Chris is there, which is how we ended up there. All right, so there's that. Then I have this little tiny circle, which looks like, oh, you can imagine I've already lost the die. I haven't really. The other piece, the other thing that I use for these little tiny ones is those sewing magnets that hold, if I had it right here, I would share it with you, but I don't have it right here. But I have used it. It's a little magnetic dish, and I just put all the little pieces in it because I'm terrible about losing them. I really have lost the circle. It's probably on my floor, but there's a small circle. So that is going to go right here, the opening for my bird. And I wanted to do as many little pieces as I could. And honestly, I don't usually. I'm terrible about not taking the time, which is why I did this ahead of time. Because when I do it with you guys, I just stop. I don't do it all. So there's the circle. Then I have this piece, which is going to be the base. And I don't know which way. I think it is supposed to go this way, but I kind of like it this way. So mine's going that way on the front of my card, but I need to figure out its size before I do. So it's gonna go like so. Again, I don't want it on the card yet. We really had a great time. It was really nice. You know, you'd think, it's just Bert and I now, but you'd think that we would spend time, just, we don't. We don't. There's always something. So this was great. We were able to just do nothing. I know, it does show the other way, and it just didn't look right to me. So as Susan said, the picture shows it going the other way, but you know, hey, I'm going to do it my way, which is upside down, but that's okay. So there's that. I guess these are supposed to be the brackets that hold it. I don't know. I don't know. I like it like that. It's your card. Then I did this, which is a stamp, and I stamped my bird and this flower collection, which if you look in the catalog, you'll notice that they each have coordinating dies. So here's my bird and my flowers. I cut those out and then I colored them with my blends. And I did that before you came because we'd be here till 8 o'clock because it takes me a while to figure out what I want. So these guys are ready to go on. I'm going to put my bird on first, and I'm going to put the bird down just with adhesive, and he's going to go like this, like he's looking in the thing. This is going to go with a dimensional. I almost like the back of something you've colored in, and that's going to kind of give him a foot to sit on. Then I did a whole bunch, all the little leaves out of this strip, right? So this was one of those strips that cut off the other one. Nice. If I had a Container Store, Diane, that means I have to order online, and I can do that. But these are really tiny, so they're going to do better with glue dots, which are right here. Glue dots. And then I'm just going to kind of tuck these leaves in and around my flowers. But I love that I didn't have to color them in. I just let the paper give me the color. Get over here. You are stuck to my finger. But even though I used Pool Party on my bird, it matches the Pool Party of the paper, right? See, matchy, matchy, that's me. And there is no right way to do this. You do it any way you want. I think I have one more though, don't I? It will show up. Oh no, I guess that's it. Oh no, here it is. I thought I had one more. Isn't this pretty? I love this paper. So nice. And really, either side is great. So I wanted to make sure that I used as much of it as I could. And now I'm ready to put you on your card, and you're now, because I made him over here, he's going to go on with dimensionals. And yes, this would have been really easy to do 3 or 4 of the same ones. Do all the cutting at once, then do the paper piecing and putting them together. And what I like about the card making is it doesn't take up much space. It does work on my lap, or it works on a small table. I'm not sure how people do them in the car, although I've heard a lot of people do. I love this. And I do believe it is. It's not going to be ready in May, like at the beginning of May, but I bet it will be soon. There's been a whole lot of scurrying going on at Stampin' Up! Lately, in case, again, you don't live and breathe Stampin' Up! Like some of us do. With Close to My Heart closing tomorrow, and Stampin' Up! Accepting and helping all of the previous makers, they've been kind of scrambling to get everything done in a big rush. I am going to take this piece, this leftover, it was this on the other side, and I am going to do Best Friends with Early Espresso, which is one of the inks that they told me would go. And I was going to just do a white strip. I was going to try putting it on here, which it probably would do too, but I want it on here. And then, oh, Tim Holtz's black. I love this color. You know I do. This is my favorite color. And you would not be surprised to know that this is the color that I decorated the inside of the camper with. It would be a bit much if I did my whole house this way, but I pretty much got away with doing the camper. It wasn't too bad. It is an old camper that the people that we got it from have done some reno. They painted the walls and stuff, and they put flooring down. It's not ginormous. It's big enough for us. It does have bunks for the girls when they come. So we are super excited. Watched all the geese flying in over the weekend. Sunday morning they were crazy coming home. And Hello Friend is going to go right here. Oh, stop it. And there is our card. And I love it. I love all the colors and the detail. I love how much fun it was to put together. Yes, tomorrow is your very last day to order from Close to My Heart. Actually, I don't want to say that out loud, and I could be wrong. I believe it's the last day that you can order from a maker. The company will still have its website, and you can order something, but it won't credit to your maker. The last day for the maker's website is tomorrow. I am no longer a maker, so it doesn't really matter to me, but I just want to be sure everybody gets what they want. Susan, I love this one. And then this is another part of that whole suite. These are the Basic Gray and Smoky Slate Pearls. So we're going to take a couple of those. They're really cool too. I like those. And I'm just going to put a couple on here to add a little foof to my card. Right? And we are good to go. I have a ton more cards in my brain that I want to do, but I wanted to stop by and do a card with you guys tonight. So thank you so much for joining me. Make sure that you set your calendar for Wednesday so you can check out all the new stuff. I love new stuff. If you have any questions or anything you don't know about what I used or where I got it, just drop me a note. I'm happy to answer. I will talk to you all soon. Bye.